back here again. I don't know you here to learn some more French pronunciation. You don't know that easy. Cause no, you ain't want that exam lick you up. Understand? So we gotta be ready for this exam. See, say exam coming and you want to be ready. You don't know I here to lead you in the right path. Yeah. All right. So this is now part 2 to our series of the French pronunciation series. So today's lesson is basic French pronunciation rules. All right. Everything could be ivory today. Certain things can start to make sense. They can start to click, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I had a revelation." You understand? Because today we can deal with some stuff. We ain't dealing with the complex stuff. We're dealing with basic stuff. Yeah, but some things can start to click today. So don't worry, we can get there. Let me start. As usual, we go bigger on splash for these wonderful images that gonna be in this slide. So we go bigger on splash before we move on to today's lesson. All right, let me go. First rule that we can look at, right? Pronunciation rules is what we're looking at today. So whenever C precedes I or E, it is pronounced like S. Example, cerise, sel, cité, cieux, cerise, sel, cité, cieux. Right? You get that S sound, right? Once the letter that comes after the C is either an I or an E, you get the S sound. Listen again. Cerise, sel, cité, cieux. You hear that S sound? We're going to go through it one more time. One more time. Cerise. Give it a little swag in between there. Cerise, sel, cité, cieux. All right. So that is one of the first rules. Well, one of the first rules that I can take you through. All right, let me look at the next one. So, whenever C appears before any letter except for I or E, it is pronounced like K. So what I mean is that whenever you have C, right, in a word, and the letter that comes after C is not I nor E, it is pronounced like a K. So you get a K sound instead of a S sound, like when the I and the E came after C. Any other letter, right? If it's not I nor E, any other letter, it's going to be pronounced like a K. So, example, calme, clou, cabinet. We always want that little swag in between there. You understand? Let me get a little swag. Who said we can't learn and have fun in between? Get a little swag in between there, man. Calme, clou, cabinet, calme, clou, cabinet. I hope you can hear that K sound. Calme, clou, cabinet. You hear all that swag in that pronunciation. That's how you gotta be pronouncing these words. Understand? Calme, clou, cabinet. All right, on to the next one. On to the next slide. Let's go. All right, so the letter C with a cedilla, this here is called a cedilla. This little squiggly thing here is pronounced like S. I know a lot of people see these words. You know français, it's pronounced français, but you don't understand where the S sound comes from. This is why it is français. So, example here, français, leçon, garçon. Français, leçon, garçon. Okay, can you hear this? Français, leçon, garçon. So I break it down in syllables for you so you can easily, so that you can hear the S sound a bit more easier. Français, leçon, garçon. All right? So yes, the letter C with a cedilla gives you an S sound. And that's why français is pronounced as français, because that C with a cedilla is pronounced like S. All right? Let's move on to something else here. So we have the CH, which produces an SH sound. So wherever you see CH in French, you get an SH sound. So example, chute, chou, chat, chargé, chute, chou, chat, chargé. Listen to that. Sh, sh, shoot, chou, chat, chargé. All right. All right. I don't know you're all going to be great students, right? You're all going to be great students. Just make sure when you're pronouncing the people words, add some swag. Shoot, chou, chat, chargé. All right, there we go. Let's move on to something else. All right. So, interesting thing to note. A lot of people might not know this, but the J in French is pronounced similarly to S in the word pleasure in English. Haha, you didn't know that. I could see some people's faces click like, ah, so that's how you pronounce that. That's the way you pronounce that. Yes, 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 yes. You heard it here. So, for example, we have je. So, how you can see how that is similar to pleasure, right? Je, joue, jupe, Japon. Je, jupe, Japon. All right? It has, you can see, you can hear the similarity there, right? A lot of people don't teach this. Maybe they don't teach this, but I'm teaching you this. And after you've done this lesson, you can't say that you never know because I teach you in today's lesson. Understand? Let me move on. So G, right, before I and E is also pronounced identical to S in the word pleasure in English. Example, gifler, Jean, juger, gifler, Jean, juger. Ok, écoutez bien, écoutez bien. Gifler, Jean, juger, gifler, Jean, juger. All right. See how that's similar to the je in pleasure. Can you hear it now? All right. All right. On to the next slide. So G before any other letter is pronounced like a regular G. Example, glace, grave, garçon. Glace, grave, garçon. All right. So this is going to be easy for you. You see, everything we went through is going to be easy. You see, I made it easier for you, didn't I? All right. Let's go. Continue. Let's go again. Glace, grave, garçon. Glace, grave, garçon. I know some of y'all are already asking, why is man pronouncing this thing so often? If I do, the more you hear it, the more you get familiar with the sound. Because it's one thing to see it on a piece of paper or see it on a PowerPoint in this case, but knowing and hearing how to pronounce it. Understand? The more you listen to it, the more it sticks. So let me continue. So after that, we have the GN in French, right? The GN in French is pronounced similarly to the NI in English, right? In the word in English, onion, right? In the word onion in English. So you know how you have the onion, that n, onion, right? So similarly, you have for the French words, you have agneau, agneau, bagnole, espagnol, agneau, bagnole, espagnol, agneau, bagnole, espagnol. All right, see? All right, good. Again, agneau, bagnole, espagnol. So, again, agneau, bagnole, espagnol. Agneau, bagnole, espagnol. All right? I think you guys got it. Let's move on to the next slide. So S at the beginning of a word is pronounced like a regular S, right? Example, so, son, singe, right? So, son, singe, so, son, singe. So, son, singe. Give it this swag. So, son, singe. All right. Let me go one more time with a little swag here. So, son, singe. Yeah. Okay. So, the double S in French is pronounced like S. Example, poisson, chassé, agressif. Poisson, chassé, agressif. Poisson, chassé, agressif. All right? So you hear the S sound in between there. Poisson, chassé, agressif. Agressif. Chassé, Poisson. All right. So let me not beat a dead horse here. Let's move on to the next pronunciation rule. Now you're going to see here, however, in syllable initial position, S double S, right? I mean double S is pronounced like A plus S. All right, so what do I mean by A plus S? You have to listen to the sound of the word and you would understand what I mean. Example, essence, essayer, essuyer, essence, essayer, essuyer. So, I sure right now you all can hear the A and the S. Let me slow it down a little bit for you. Essence. You hear the A and the S? Yes. Essence. Essayer. Essuyer. Encore une fois. Alright? Essence. Essayer. Essuyer. Again, one more time. Just one more time. Essence. Essayer. Essuyer. Alright. So I think you guys get it so far. Let's move on to the next slide. So another important thing to know, S is pronounced like Z when it appears between two vowels in a word. So we here have examples, 3 examples. As you can see, the vowels are highlighted in blue. The S is highlighted in red to show that the S, right, is between 2 vowels. So, all right. So, for example, there is cerise. Listen carefully. Let me slow it down. Cerise. Oiseau. Poison. Poison. So you would note that this word looks similarly to poisson, but this is not poisson. Poisson is fish, and poison is poison. So to distinguish the word fish from the word poison is the S sound and the Z sound. So when someone says poisson, you know that is fish. When someone says poison, you know that is poison, right? So you see why it is important to know these things, because like that you'll be able to distinguish between particular words in French. And that might just save your life. Just keep that in mind. So again, we have cerise, oiseau, poison. Écoutez bien. Cerise, oiseau, poisson, poison. Pardon. Don't kill me. I know I just said poisson by mistake. Don't kill me. Okay? It's poison. Don't kill me. Poison. All right? So, moving on. S is also pronounced like Z when it is in word final position, right? Means basically it's the last letter of a word, right? Before a vowel of another word. So as you can see here, when you have an S at the end of a word, right? And sorry. So when the next word begins with A, because you guys remember, I explained to you, usually in French, the S is silent. However, in this case, it does something what we call a liaison, where the sound from the S actually usually is carried on to the vowel, right? On its own, there's no sound, but when there's a vowel after the S, such as A or E, etc., you're going to hear a Z sound. So, for example, vous avez. Vous avez. All right, I know my students before says vous avez, but that is not correct. It is vous avez. Vous avez. Mes enfants des examens. Vous avez, mes enfants, des examens. I know des examens is the word a lot of people don't want to hear right now, but for the sake of this video, bear with me. Vous avez, mes enfants, des examens. Vous avez, mes enfants, des examens. All right? All right, let's move on to the next slide. All right, I think this is the final one. Hopefully it's the final one because I can see you guys. Sir, I hope this lesson is long, cheese on bread. I just take it easy, yes? Just take it easy. We're almost at the end. Don't worry. We almost did. So let's continue. QU, I want all of my students to know this because some people struggle with this really. So it's time you learn it. The QU as well as Q at the end of a word are both pronounced like K. So for example, you see this word that looks like question? Don't let me hear you saying question. It's question. Question. Can you hear the K? Question. Question. Quel? Manquer. 5. Coq. Question. Quel? Manquer. 5. Coq. All right. One more time. I'm gonna do it slowly. Question. Quel? Quel? Manquer. Manquer. 5. 5. Coq. All right. Encore une fois. Question. Quel? Manquer. 5. Coq. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. So X before a vowel of another word is pronounced like Z. For example, disons. Disons. So that's really the liaison that you're hearing. Disons. All right. Beaux enfants. Beaux enfants. Listen again. Disons. Disons. Beaux enfants. Beaux enfants. Can you hear that Z sound? Let me slow it down. Let me slow it down a little bit. Just a little bit. Disons. Beaux enfants. Disons. Beaux enfants. Right, there you go. Disons and beaux enfants. Just give it a little swag, man. Just a little swag. Disons. Beaux enfants. Disons. Beaux enfants. All right. All right. Let's continue. So now, wait, where you going? Where you going? Come back here. Don't run away from the reading. Don't run away from the reading. Come back here. We're going to do a little reading practice. What's the point of learning practice? What is the point of learning pronunciation If you're not going to practice your reading, you need to do some reading practice. All right? There we go. Just listen to how I pronounce the words. Listen carefully because you know, next is your turn. All right? We're taking turns here. All right? So I'm going to start first and then you go. All right? There we go. Je m'appelle Nico. Okay, before I continue, notice the words I have highlighted are basically the things that we went through in this lesson, right? So, in order to refresh your memory about everything we went through, you can always go back to the beginning of the video and play it back as much as you want until we get to this part, all right? So, I'm going to continue, but I'm going to start back from Je m'appelle, all right? Je m'appelle Nico du Jardin. J'ai 26 ans et je suis étudiant. En fait, j'apprends le français, l'espagnol, not really stress, l'espagnol, no, there's no E, l'espagnol et l'italien. Je les étudie depuis 6 ans. Pendant mes cours, je pose beaucoup de questions pour approfondir mes connaissances. J'ai une voiture, mais je préfère prendre le bus pour aller à l'école parce que l'essence est trop chère. Pendant mon temps libre, je joue aux jeux vidéo avec mes amis. Je joue avec mon chien et je vais à la plage pour rencontrer des gens et prendre une glace avec des cerises. Parfois, j'aime aller au restaurant appelé Paradis pour manger du poisson, de l'agneau ou du coq au vin. All right, I'm going to read that one more time and then for sure it's your turn. Listen carefully. Je m'appelle Nico Dujardin. J'ai 26 ans et je suis étudiant. En fait, j'apprends le français, l'espagnol et l'italien. Je les étudie depuis 6 ans. Pendant mes cours, je pose beaucoup de questions pour approfondir mes connaissances. J'ai une voiture, mais je préfère prendre le bus pour aller à l'école parce que l'essence est trop chère. Parce que l'essence est trop chère. OK? L'essence est trop chère. Pendant mon temps libre, je joue aux jeux vidéo avec mes amis. Je joue avec mon chien et je vais à la plage pour rencontrer des gens et prendre une glace avec des cerises. Parfois, j'aime aller au restaurant appelé Paradis pour manger du poisson, de l'agneau ou du coq au vin, du coq au vin. All right? No, you ain't getting weird. You ain't getting weird. Come here. It's your turn to read. Give you some time to read the passage on your own. All right? So, after one, two, three. C'est parti. Let's go. Start. You see? It wasn't so hard, but you make it seem like it was so hard. Ain't that bad? Ain't that bad? I hope you noticed, right? In here, I made a couple mistakes in between and I corrected myself, right? So everybody makes mistakes when it comes to reading, right? Just the important thing is when you read and you make a noticeable mistake, you can correct yourself. There is no problem. They can't kill you in the exam for correcting yourself, right? So when you are doing reading practice, and this is some advice, try to read slowly so that you can see the words and you can pronounce the words correctly. Just don't speak like a robot, right? Just don't speak like a robot, right? So, yeah, so that was your reading practice, all right? So, as usual, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at thateasylanguage@gmail.com. You don't know if you want to learn French with that easy language. You know, if you want to learn French, it'll be that easy. So don't worry, that easy, man. That easy. All right? Merci pour votre attention et à plus.